Main character Twisteds have a unique spawn rate compared to the other Twisteds, which starts off very low and gets progressively higher as the floor count increases, making them practically guaranteed on runs with a high floor count. Main character Twisteds cannot spawn before floor 5.0.6.1. On special occasions, main character Twisteds are guaranteed to spawn, such as Twisted Bassy Render and Twisted Beat Render on floor 20 during the Easter event and Christmas event, respectively. All main character Twisteds have unique sound effects associated with them, usually footsteps along with another ambient effect. This serves somewhat as a counter to the main character Twisteds, as it makes their position on the map apparent, even during blackouts or before the elevator door opens. The closer the main character Twisted is to you, the louder their footsteps. Refusing to buy from Dandy Render 3 or more times in a row decreases the chance for mains to spawn. Buying itself does not increase the spawn of mains, but prevents their spawn chance from going down. Doing so also makes sure Twisted Dandy Render is not added to the pool of Twisteds that can spawn, which would lower their chances even further. Twisted Astro Render is a large, roaming Twisted that wanders the halls aimlessly. Reflecting his Astro Render support-oriented counterpart, his unique ability allows him to regress machine progress if he is alerted by a missed skill check. Twisted Astro will drain about half the current progress of the machine, meaning he'll have a small effect on barely completed machines, and a big one if it's almost completed. Twisted Astro will also give the Tired 3 debuff if you are being chased by him, which causes your stamina regeneration to decrease drastically. Along with his draining ability, he has above average speed and detection range, paired with a long attention span. Twisted Astro has soft-sounding footsteps and an ethereal, space-like ambience emanating from him. This can make him the hardest main character to immediately detect. Due to his Tired 3 debuff that he can inflict when chasing someone, you want tunes with high movement speed like Tish Render, Pebble Render, or Goob Render to distract him, as they won't be using their stamina much compared to other tunes when distracting. Try to avoid him when playing low movement speed tunes like V Render, Roger Render, Scraps Render, or even Shrimpo Render, as you can easily consume all your stamina. Speed or stamina items can be very helpful against this debuff. Twisted Pebble Render is a massive, roaming dog that growls loudly around the halls aimlessly, being the fastest Twisted, with Twisted Glisten Render and Twisted Beat Render being very close behind. His attention span is quite modest, which makes him easy to lose if the player is able to break line of sight before he catches up. He has extremely fast speed and is very hard to get away from if he spots you in bad terrain or gets close and you have average mobility. Because of his high speed, Twisted Pebble is extremely dangerous and should be avoided if possible. Twisted Pebble produces loud, thundering footsteps and feral noises when roaming or chasing. Slower tunes should not dare get chased, easily being outrun or being barely faster. Stay behind cover if he's fairly close and maintain knowledge on his location to prevent deaths. Tunes with 2 statistics star movement speed can barely outrun Twisted Pebble before panic mode, and they need to be sprinting while equipping both Speedy Shoes and Pink Bow. Even then, they will only be 0.2 speed faster than Twisted Pebble, which means that Twisted Pebble can very easily catch up when the tune is not running in a perfectly straight line. Tunes with 1-star movement speed, however, cannot outrun Twisted Pebble without items, even if Pink Bow and Ribbon Spool are being used. Twisted V Render is a large, roaming Twisted that wanders the halls aimlessly. Reflecting her media personality counterpart, her unique ability allows her to bombard players with pop-up advertisements, which need to be closed by clicking the red X button in the top right corner of the pop-up window, otherwise, they block the view of the player's screen. She will send these pop-up ads to all players upon entering a floor and every 45 seconds afterwards in groups of 3. If you don't close the pop-up ads, they will disappear a bit before the next batch. They pose no direct threat besides their tendency to cover skill checks. She will also send a single pop-up ad and inflict the slow 2 debuff to a player she has spotted before beginning a chase, though they are still relatively harmless and pose no threat beyond their ability to block the player's vision. The slow 2 debuff she creates can make her hard to escape, and her usage of it makes it significantly harder for any toons to attempt the strategy of distracting her. In addition to pop-ups, she possesses a second unique ability. If a player fails a skill check, she will run as if she is in a chase to the source of that failed skill check from anywhere on the floor. These footsteps are mechanical in nature. She will additionally make agitated electronic noises when spotting a player. These footsteps also leave a trail of itcher. Twisted Shelly Render is a medium-sized, roaming Twisted that applies the purely confused eye debuff to all players on the floor she resides in, such that extraction speed is reduced by 25% whenever she is on a floor. Reflecting her archaeologist counterpart, Twisted Shelly's body is shaped like a theropod, and she has a high running speed similar to that of Twisted Turtle's Render, making her a big threat on any floor she's located in. It is next to impossible to outwalk her without trinkets due to her running speed. However, her attention span is rather low compared to the other main Twisteds, being the same as Twisted Shrimpo Render's attention span. Twisted Shelly's footsteps sound very similar to Twisted V Render's footsteps, although more spaced out like Twisted Pebble Render's footsteps. Twisted Sprout Render is a very large, roaming main Twisted that wanders the halls aimlessly. He spawns a large puddle of itcher with a tendril below when spotting a toon. When he spots you, he will scream loudly as the tendrils appear from the ground, giving a warning that he is about to attack. He will spawn the tendrils every 10 seconds, which linger for 15 seconds before they submerge. However, he has below average speed, low attention span, and his tendrils are easy to dodge. Twisted Sprout's footsteps are very crunchy sounding, like someone stepping on leaves. After every step he leaves a small puddle of itcher that goes away seconds after.